ladies and gentlemen. I can give you a citat from our Holiness Dalai Lama. We can never obtain peace in the other world until we make peace with ourselves. I think the founder of this society and all members that are joined in this society, they found the peace in their self, and now they are ready to transfer to the other part of the world. Unfortunately, the big part of the world have necessity to get this peace process. And I'm sure that he knows why he did it, because, and we know also, and all the people who already done something in this direction and to get peace and to help the others, because we know that our spirit gains and strength as we help others. And how you mentioned the chairman, I come from Afghanistan, and since 37 years I'm in Europe and France, and then now in Germany. Since many years I did my studies there and I work there. And there's so many things that connect me with Professor Veronesi, and also from the scientific part. And also I'm a breast surgeon, and he is not only my teacher, my mentor, and he is also one of the most respectful person that I follow his steps since 30 years. And thank you again for all the possibility in the ways that you show us during so many years. And I hope and I wish that God bless you and save you for the more than 80 years again. But the city which I come is Herat. You can see it in the east of Afghanistan. And the population increasing, and now is about 32 million inhabitants, but we don't have exact data about it. And that was one reason why I started to help this project to help women in Afghanistan, because I'm since all my life now with I work only with the woman, and my wife, and everything around me. 95% of my life is created through the woman. So that was the reason that I say all the things which I do, I want to give it back to the woman. And I think in Afghanistan was very, very necessary to do it. Why? You can see that the many trials that they did it in this period of the time in Afghanistan, that the woman in most of Herat province is not Herat alone, in all part of Afghanistan have a high risk of maternal mortality. And when we see the U.S. studies and Save the Children, Afghanistan has the world's second highest infant mortality rate, behind only Liberia. Maternal mortality in Afghanistan is also among the world's highest, and according to the organization report. 16% of Afghan women die while pregnant or during the childbirth. Save the Children says that in countries such as in Afghanistan, where women have little or no access to basic prenatal and postnatal care, childbirth is often a death sentence for a mother and her baby. And from UNESCO, the unit of children, it's estimated that there is only one doctor per 50,000 inhabitants. 1 in 9 Afghan women die during or shortly after pregnancy, according to one of the highest maternal mortality rate in the world. And you can see what does it mean for the whole society when it's a high maternity or infant death exists in such countries. 2003, I went to Afghanistan, back to Herat, after longer than 30 years that I couldn't go during this time to my country. And I found this clinic. This clinic is about 20 beds. The clinic was closed during the Taliban time because the male physician was not allowed to work, and the female physician was not, the male physician was not allowed to treat the woman, and the female physician was not allowed to work. So the clinic was automatically closed. And as I went there, I saw so many people, so many ladies, and so many women and children in this building. And so they are waiting all over to get some medicine or some treatment. But they didn't know what is inside this clinic as I entered this clinic. That was the equipment at that time. This is the sterilization machine, and there's this kind of treatment room and operating room. At that time, there exists nothing at this time. And so I saw myself, during this short time that I was there, I saw many women dying during this period, because usually the delivery day is usually at home, but only the risk patients, they come to the hospital, but this was not really a hospital. It is true that we can live without religion and meditation, but we cannot survive without human affection. And that was the question to me, what can I do at this time for them? And I think they will be very happy when I give us some donation at the time, but in my mind was maybe better to build a hospital for them. But at that time, you can be sure I didn't know how we can realize this project in this country. And so I came back to Germany, and I opened the Rezai Foundation and help women. And so we go back to Afghanistan. We got, and I sent this design. And I thank my wife. She's also an architect. She helped me to make design of this clinic. And so we found a land in the city. And my brother, he lived usually in Hamburg. He went to Herat and for the laying of the cornerstone. And so we start with very simple equipment to build these hospitals. And so we saw how it's growing. And he's the housekeeper of the hospital at that time. And so Herat is quite a very nice city. And the Italian army is also located now in ISAF in Herat. We have about 3 million inhabitants in this city. And that's the architects group, and also in the left side, the Germans from German embassy, they heard about this project, and they want to see what we do in Herat, and they were very surprised because we didn't talk with any government part to give any help for this project, because this was a family foundation, and we want to try to do ourselves as is possible and to give it back to the people. In May 2009 was the opening ceremony. The Minister of the Health is make this ceremony open, and this is a clinic now, 100 beds clinic with several operating theaters and European standards. We have intensive care for the child, and as I was there 8 weeks before, I saw 3 children and about 800 grams that they tried to keep them. And so we have many emergency cars to bring the patients to their houses, or they pick up them because the situation, the infrastructure is quite not good. It means during the 4 years, it was possible to make from this hospital such one with, we also mentioned, with 100 beds. You know, electricity is in Afghanistan not all over. Even in Kabul, it's only for a few hours, but fortunately, they have 24 hours also electricity. And so we can change this treatment room in 4 years with such ones for everybody. And this rooms, which was at that time in the clinic, a room with rooming in for the children too, and especially that's all the cost for the patients are free of charge, so nobody needs to pay here for the treatment. That's the advantage that we have in Europe, that the only real advantage of wealth is the fact that it can be employed to better help others. And that was the one annual data which I gathered. You know, we have about 4,000 4,600 operations, gynecological operations, about 30,000 spontaneous delivery, 2,500 forceps, and also cesarean 1,465, twins 160, triples 2, and unfortunately child death is 429, 21 maternal mortality, and 60,460 spontaneous deliveries. It means 16,460 children left the hospital alive during 1 year, and now it's increasing also these numbers. And only 21 maternal mortality in this time, and when we compare how much usually is in these countries. It means that is the first step, and I hope that many steps follow in this direction, so from civilian, also from the politician, and also for the government to achieve more possibility to save life, because so we can achieve also peace in such countries when we have also the good infrastructure and in these countries. Through violence, you may solve one problem, but you sow the seeds for another. And I can thank you, Umberto, again for your initiation, that you sow a seed for the peace. And I'm sure that we will later, many of us and many of the next generation also follow your step, which we follow in the medicine, and how you brought peace in thousands of families through your initiation of the breast preservation surgery by breast cancer. And I'm sure that we will achieve this also too. Thank you very much.